Yes, boss. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss, we are going to revise first of all the core competency topics, and then Michael Porter's generic strategies. Whatever we had studied in the last lecture, we'll revise that first and then we'll proceed further. I hope you are doing well. I am fine. I am also doing well. Let's start FMSM with OM lecture number 16 today of strategic management. So guys, what we were discussing all about is, first of all, we discussed about the competitive advantage. I think everybody knows that when a firm achieves, an edge over the rival while competing, it's called competitive advantage. I think this is fine, and this is only possible with the help of unique features of an organization. Means any organization that creates more and more value has more and more competitive advantage, and for that we have popularly studied this pillar number 420. An extension of this particular value creation and competitive advantage concept is role of resources capabilities to achieve competitive advantage. What are the role of resources and capabilities? And finally, we will discuss about competencies and core competencies. Means we will discuss about not only competitive advantage in this particular chapter. We'll proceed and will reach to a next level that will be called sustainable competitive advantage. Means from CA to SCA journey we are going to complete in this particular chapter. Yes, I did discuss that resources are of two types. A quick revision I am giving you. Tangible and intangible resources. Further, when we use or utilize these resources to produce something, to do something, to execute some task within the organization, where all set of primary and support activities of the value chains are active, that is something that is built out of this. It's called capability. Say for example, Amazon has a capability to distribute its product to its store or to the customer within 24 hours. This is the capability of Amazon. Walmart has different capabilities. If this capability gives them a competitive advantage, that resource and capability, the superior integration of that resource and capability is called competencies. Means C. Once this competency, which has been built out of these two aspects, start giving them a sustainable competitive advantage, then it becomes core competency. So there are two definitions out of here. One that comes from the integration of resources and capability. One is competency. It provides us with competitive advantage. Another is sustainable competitive advantage. So this is a very simple, basic and fundamental concept that we have to understand, and we have actually understood and realized this particular concept. Now, so sir, characteristics of resources that provide sustainable competitive advantage. If this kind of sentence is there in your question paper, either it is practical or a straight question, you have to answer with the help of IDTF. Formula will be IDTF. I for imitability, durability, and T for transferability, and F for appropriability. Means you have to get something out, return in the form of return from this. Second topic, second matter that is there. What is core competencies? I think this is clear to everyone. Core competencies are created by superior integration of technological, physical, and human resources. They can be distinctive skill, means tangible or intangible. Any kind of resource can become a core competency of any organization. That is fine. Three competencies that can be termed as CC. Another question that can come to your life, that is CV application. C for create competitive advantage or competitors differentiation. V for value creation. Customer value or value creation. And application application of competency. That is very important. We have already done two case studies in last two classes of Walmart related to this particular topic. I hope this is clear to you. Now another question that is there, and it was also there in the case study. What are the two tools to identify and build core competencies? There are two tools to identify and build core competency. One is called 4 criteria of sustainable competitive advantage, and the formula to justify this is valuable NCR. This can come in a practical question or in a theoretical or straight questions. You have to be ready. So guys, what are the 4 criteria of sustainable competitive advantage? Valuable, it should be valuable. NCR, non-substitutable, costly to imitate, and rare, it should be rare. I think this is also clear to you. Now, value chain analysis is the second tool that we have already discussed in chapter number 2. There are primary and support activity. Primary activity, list any 5 primary activities, that is inbound logistics, production and operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales services, and after sales services. And then support activities, human resource management, product technology development, R&D, etc. Then procurement, and the third is your administration, means accounting, finance, etc. So these are the 4 support activities. Now, finally we reach to this Michael Porter, because competitive advantage, organization has to gain competitive advantage, and for that Michael Porter suggested three specific generic strategies for any firm of any industry can apply this. First was cost leadership, second was differentiation, and third was focus. And we discussed the whole concept through a graph, through a chart, through a pyramid, and we identified the people who are actually looking for this kind of product. So organization has certain type of strategy, the kind of product and services that will be demanded by the customer. Basis that, keeping the audience in mind, keeping the segment of the market in mind, organizations follow different strategies so that they gain competitive advantage against their rivals, and this is called generic strategy based on the pyramid. Bottom of the pyramid needs a cost effective, price effective product, whereas top of the pyramid is ready to buy luxury products at a higher price. So for that there are 2 different strategies. Low cost, low price strategy is called cost leadership strategy. Cost is involved, but price is an important aspect of that particular strategy, because your profitability is dependent upon the price that you charge. So here my pricing will be penetration pricing. On the other hand, we have differentiation strategy, unique products offered to the masses with premium feeling, with the higher cost and the premium prices being charged. The pricing strategy here is called scheming. I think this is clear, and this is not possible unless you have some R&D, some innovation, some unique thing that you have developed. And several examples we discussed it in the last the same concept in the last class. And the third point was focus strategy. Focus means out of the whole audience, either it is top of the pyramid or bottom of the pyramid, whichever segment it is, we are going to target specific people. We are going to define the segment that for this particular person or this particular customer or this type of customer, I am going to offer this product, so that I can also, because I am a small player, I can't fight with number 1, number 2, number 3 of the industry. So my strategy will be focus. I will go customize the product as per the requirement of the customer, and finally I will be able to sell more and more product. That is called as focus strategy. Identifying focus strategy is one of the very toughest tasks. You will have to be very careful while reading the question when it comes in the examination hall. I will give you an idea how to catch whether this is cost leadership, differentiation or focus strategy. I will give you a knack for that. For that we will discuss several questions. Yes, of course. Let's proceed. So I think this was enough to consolidate your previous lectures. And now, so guys, we have Michael Porter's finally a strategic target are industry wide or wide segment or particular segment, or we can name it as a narrow segment. Now we have 2 type of strategic advantages. One is low cost position wala problem, another is uniqueness perceived by the customer. Here we are offering perceived value, here we are offering generic value. I have defined both. I have defined everything as per Michael Porter's requirement. Whatever Michael Porter has discussed in his own original book, because we had a textbook called Competitive Strategy written by Michael Porter in my IIM Calcutta course, so I know that. So, and in finance we used to read Brigham. Brigham was our textbook. Barley Myers was the second textbook. So 2 textbook world's bestseller. These are 2 world's bestseller books in finance. On the other hand, Michael Porter is the BAP of strategy. So if you understand Michael Porter, you must understand everything. So industry wide, unique product, differentiation. Industry wide, low cost position, overall cost leadership. Industry wide, narrow segment, particular segment, and focus. It can be focus cost leadership, it can be focus differentiation. I think this is done. Now I will cover the rest of the topic out of this particular concept from the chart book only, because here we have presented it in a better manner than the ICAI study mat. So here this has been presented as per the questions being asked out of this particular topic in the examination hall. So because the concept is done, now you can elaborate it, you can write enough stuff in this particular concept. Therefore I am now focusing on the chart wala part. Chalo. So cost leadership, very simple. We have already done a discussion in the last class. The generic strategy call for being the low cost producer in an industry for a given level of quality. Done. And that quality is something where we have promises to create generic value, right? Several products. The firm sells its product either at average industry price. Price is very important. At few places you might see that cost leadership strategy is all about cost. No. There is this is a wrong interpretation of the concept when people talk about cost leadership means a low cost producer. Wrong. Yes, low cost producer is right, but it is not the only fact. There is other side of the coin also that you need to discuss: penetration, pricing. If you have produced something at low cost, then what did you do after that? Did you do something to get competitive advantage, or you simply produced it and kept it at your store? Is it the fact? No sir, this is not the fact. The fact is we produced it at lower cost and then we sold it at higher price, at lower price, and then we get an edge over the rivals, while because we are going to get more revenue, more profit, more market share, more market position, better market position. This is what pillar number 420 should be completed. Out of this, then only we will decide whether on cost, price and value and profitability band whether you got competitive advantage or sustainable competitive advantage or not. If not, then the strategy is not complete, my dear friend. So just remember this particular concept. This is a very important thing that I'm mentioning over here, because you might make a mistake, or MCQ can confuse you in the exams. That's why I am putting a little bit of focus over here. So the firm sells its product either at average industry price to earn a profit higher than that of the rival. Again, pillar number 420. Below the average industry price to gain market share. Unless and until you write this particular sentence, you won't be able to conclude your cost leadership strategy. Any strategy should reach to competitive advantage position. Then only my writing or my explanation or my concept or my application is complete. Next. Sir, we are talking about differentiation. Development of product or services that offers unique attributes that are valued by the customer. Valued means perceived value. Better and different from the products means there is a perception of the product that is higher than its competitor. The value added by the uniqueness of the product may allow the firm to charge a premium price. So scheming pricing is there. So done. Now, there is an important concept, important thing that comes in the examination. What are the internal strength that is needed for cost advantage? What are the internal strength actually needed for differentiation? Because it is organization's duty, it is organization's strategy making people need to allocate resources to different departments internally so that they can produce a differentiation based product or a cost leadership based product, whichever strategy it is. Then for that you need certain strength. Say you want to produce a unique product like iOS or a smartphone like Apple, then you need lots of R&D and innovation. So accordingly you have to define internal strength needed for cost advantage. This question comes in the examination. First is access to capital required. Yes, you need capital to produce product, and then further you need economies of scale also. Otherwise your per unit cost will not be that low. Skill in designing product, yes, basic. High level of expertise, experience in manufacturing and process engineering means you need experience curve. Experience curve with cumulative volume of production reduces per unit cost at the rate of 25 to 40%. We have already studied this. So to reduce cost, we need expertise, experience curve, and efficient distribution channel. They have lost on economies of scale is also one of the points that we can write over here, because the higher will be the volume, lower will be the per unit cost, and that is something we are looking for in this particular topic. But here they are looking for internal strength. Yes, economies of scale, if at all we can create, will become our internal strength also. So I think this is clear to you. Now, for differentiation, what are the internal strength required? As you know, innovation. So R&D is the must. Leading scientific research or R&D. Creative product development team, just take any example of any product that is differentiation. Strong sales team, because branding, advertisement, marketing is a very important tool to generate or create perceived value, advertisement especially. And the last but not the least, reputation, brand, quality and innovation. Of quality and innovation, say we go for Tesla, we are ready to pay premium prices. We are using Starlink internet services, we are ready to pay, because they are giving us, you know, data download and upload capability in GBps, not Mbps. They are providing us in 330, 400, 120 Gbps, 126, 156 Gbps speed. So for that we are ready to pay whatever they are charging, because that is the premium service, uninterrupted service provided by the satellite, that is unique and special and better than this Jio, Airtel Express and, you know, Jio fiber and air fiber, etc., etc. So these are the fundamentals. Now coming to better point, that is called as focus strategy. Very simple. Focus means concentrating to a particular group of customers. Focus strategy concentrates on particular group of customer, concentrates on a particular, learn the word particular. This is very important. Particular, there is theory of relativity that is being applied to this particular topic, or a particular product line segment, and with that segment attempts to achieve either a cost advantage or differentiation. It can be under both category. We already know this. The whole idea is that need of the group can be better serviced by focusing entirely on it. We are not diverting, we are not changing, you know, diversifying ourselves. We are just centralizing our efforts on focusing on our efforts on a particular product and service, because we know we cannot afford so many products at so many places. So we are a small company, and for us this focus is the best thing. For a new entrant, focus is the best strategy. For a lower, you know, medium size or a small size organization against, you know, giant companies, focus is the best strategy, where you can sell on the basis of relationship and customization. That is going to do wonders for you. So Michael Porter suggested, you know, different strategies to different type of people in the industry, and for the different segment of, you know, customers in the pyramid, in the whole industry, in the pyramid. So this Michael Porter was very intelligent while suggesting strategies for each and every type of organization within the industry. So we have several examples of focus. You can see adult diaper, Oyo rooms, Oyo products. You see just Oyo sachets are there. When you enter an Oyo hotel or go to any hotel, you will find soap of that particular hotel. It is not that particular hotel is producing soaps, but they are getting soaps from XYZ company. Say if Taj Mansingh is there, they are getting it from Lakme or Amway. If there is somebody, some you know, hotel of Oyo, they are getting from Lux Hammam or some local producer. So that kind of, and with the name of Oyo, with the name of Taj. So that is a customization, that is a focus strategy. Means that particular soap or sachet of shampoo or, you know, cleaner or something had been, or toothpaste or brush or your shaving kit had been created by the organization, by the company, especially for Taj or for Oyo. Focus differentiation in case of Taj and focused cost leadership in case of Oyo hotels. I think this is clear. This is very clear. This is very clear. Accordingly, we customize the cars also. Now, before I go to the risk associated with each of the generic strategy, yes, if there are benefits, we are going to get market share. There are risks also. There are advantages also. There are disadvantages also. We'll discuss each and every aspect. But before that, I'm going to a question where we will actually discuss how this is going to impact our strategy and how we are going to identify that which strategy is being followed in which type of situations. Come to mentor book. Just open the mentor book, my dear friends. Mentor. Come to chapter number 3, descriptive practical question wala part, and we'll discuss more. Not stability, this is chapter number 4, this is chapter number 3, and here we'll find a question, maybe 20, question number 20 or something. No. Let me find first, then take ABC. Question number 8. Question number 8. Question number 8. Page number A45. Just come to page number A45. Very good question. Very good question. Worth discussing it. In this particular chapter, we are discussing every concept with case study or with practical questions. This is a very important chapter. Very, very important chapter of your life. Chapter 2 and 3. Very, very important. Mark my words. No one can reduce the importance of these two chapters, and especially chapter number 2, 3 and one more chapter 5. 4 and 1 are very easy. They are cakewalks. They are cakewalks. You do it or not, doesn't matter. Yes. Yes. Come. Just read this question, try to read and understand what this question is actually trying to establish, and this might confuse you as well, and you decide which type of strategy is being followed in this particular question. I toss it to you. I believe on you like anything. Now I understand you can give me the correct answer. Just try to finalize and send me on my WhatsApp. I'm looking for it. Please share with me, so that I can be also confident that when you were watching this particular chapter or this particular topic, you actually went through the same thing that I am suggesting. So just pause it, pause the video here and try to give your answer, give the answer yourself. Don't see the answer, please don't check the answer. Try to struggle with this question. ABC Limited is a beverage manufacturing company, right? No issues. It chiefly manufactures, chiefly means it is working on cost leadership strategy right now. Is it clear to you? Manufactures soft drinks, fine. The products are priced on the lower side. You can just see that with the mention of cost, price is always mentioned in this particular topic. So always focus on the sentences, and you will find that with cost you will find price comparison, which has made the company a leader in the business. So by following cost leadership strategy, ABC Limited is a leader in soft drink manufacturing. It is a beverage company. So far we have understood this. Currently, comma, it is holding 35% market share. Fine, means number 1 or 2 company. The R&D of the company. Now R&D comes into the role. It is an alert for you. R&D of company developed a formula for manufacturing sugar-free beverages. Now they are ready. Now they have found a formula to manufacture sugar-free beverages. Okay, fine, you can produce. I am ready to drink it. Though I don't have diabetes, but I am ready to. I am a health conscious person. I would welcome this drink. Okay, no issues. On successful trial and approval by competent authorities, company was granted to manufacture sugar-free beverages. Okay, fine, you produce, we will buy it, no issues. This company is the pioneer to launch sugar-free beverages which are sold at a relatively higher price. Means, first of all, R&D, special formula, sugar-free beverage, and able to sell it at a higher price, means scheming philosophy of pricing is being used. It means this is a premium product, unique product, charged heavily, premium, charged in a premium manner, means high cost, high price product. So it looks like there is a differentiation strategy. But now let's read further. It looks like differentiation. Differentiation should come to your mind first and then the next sentence. Now see. This new product has been accepted. Now read it. This new product has been accepted widely by a class of customers. So a class of customer is defined as segment. Segment means a class of customer. When we talk about segment, the definition of segment is market segment. There is 3 processes of marketing. Just for your knowledge I am sharing. So segmentation, targeting and positioning. Whatever product we produce, we first find the audience for that particular product from the masses, right? Say I am producing this particular AI panel, artificial intelligence enabled smart panel, right? Digital surface I am making. So say the cost is 3 lakh rupees, say for example. So I would look for a segment who can buy this product. There are maybe 5 lakh people across the country who can buy this type of product. Yes or no? Yes. So that is a segment, a class of people who can use this particular unique product, AI enabled product. Yes, fine. So that's why the question writes like, that has been accepted widely. Read the sentence very carefully. If something has been accepted widely, means it has been, anywhere you find that it has been offered to word I am using, just listen to me. Have you seen anywhere that has been written in this particular question that it has been offered to a particular class of people? No, na? No, not at all. It has never. Sugar-free beverages. I produce something very unique, sugar-free beverages, but I didn't say you at all that this is for a particular class of people, say diabetic people, 70 plus, 80 plus people, or for children or something. I didn't explain you a particular segment, a particular class of people. I directly told you it has been accepted widely by a class of people. Means, again, come to the diagram. Here we are. So here we are, differentiation, cost leadership, focus, right? And this is a wide segment, matlab offered to the masses, and this is a narrow segment. So of course I am talking about this place, means either it will be cost leadership or it will be differentiation, but as it charges a premium price, high price, it is a differentiation strategy, not a focus, because there is not only a few people to whom I am offering this product. I am offering this to you, me, girl, boy, elderly people, adult people, children, and the people who are not well, or those who are well, who are neither well nor ill. So we are offering it to all. These products have proved profitable for the company. Fine. Identify the strategy employed by the company ABC Limited and mention what measure could be adopted by the company to achieve the employed strategy. This is later on. This we will discuss later on. But first, tell me what should be the strategy of ABC Limited. What type of strategy ABC Limited has employed? I think everybody is fine, is ready to answer on this particular question by now, that this is a differentiation strategy. But you know one thing, this question was asked in 2020, one of the attempts of 2020. If I am not wrong, it was November 2020. And for your kind information, I am mentioning over here that when the paper analysis was done in the evening after the examination on the same date, say exam ended on 15th, and the 15th evening everybody came to YouTube and other platforms and they started sharing the answer. Everybody from the industry shared the answer, focus differentiation, because they were telling this is a sugar-free beverage. So it is for the particular class of people. Who told you? And I was the only, I'm not, boasting it, but let me tell you, this is the power of concepts, and that's why, and that day I developed a slogan for my students, चीते की चाल, बाज की नज़र, और अपने कॉन्सेप्ट पे शक नहीं करते. एक बार, once you have developed a concept, don't doubt it. Just go for it, follow it, and just बोल दो कि yes, ठोक दिया किल्ला, यही है. This is the concept, this is true, and I firmly believe that this is the concept, and I'm going to follow this without any doubt, my dear friends. So that evening, I still remember when I answered and gave an answer on YouTube, on my channel, and I told students that this is differentiation strategy. And all the people, everybody in the industry, either who was knowing strategic management and those who were not knowing, either ratta people or intelligent people, they answered focus differentiation. And I was trolled for 2.5 months. By the time suggested was published, then people started, they stopped because there was a tight slap on their face. So it was a nightmare for me. And still students called me, sir, rethink about your answer. I said, no, my answer is final, that is differentiation strategy. If at all ICAI suggested, gives something otherwise, I will file an RTI, I will go for a debate, I will go for a discussion, I will write complaint, I will offer them on an open platform, in a public platform, and I will discuss with them that how, prove me you get this answer, focus differentiation. Finally, where ICAI's answer came on in the form of suggested, the answer was differentiation. You can check the suggested of that particular year. The reason is why I had firm belief on me. The reason was very simple, because and I was trolled. Despite the fact I was firm on my answer, because the power of concept, once you understand the concept, you mean it. So when I say focus will always be defined on the basis of a particular segment, where the product or the sentence or the nature of the business will define that this company is targeting very few specific people, not the masses. The message will be loud and clear. You will have to prove it in your answer. Then only you can write focused cost leadership or focused differentiation. Otherwise, you will go for differentiation or cost leadership. Fine? I think this is fine. How will you write this answer? Of course, you are going to do this for me. You are going to write a synopsis first, and then you are going to give your answer. You are going to give your answer, right? And that answer will be differentiation strategy, and then you will define, and then measures should be adopted by the company to achieve the employed strategy. Strength that is required, that will be the other part. We'll discuss that. Okay? So that is fine. The main part was, if you write differentiation, you will get full marks in the later part. If you write either focus differentiation, you will get anda 0. And in rest of the parts also, you will be getting 0 marks. So now choice is yours. Chalo. Coming back to the chart again, let's go forward. What are the risks associated with each of the generic strategy basis? And this is a very simple question. Cost leadership, the risk is, just think, you are lowering the price, other can also lower, other can find some new technology, and that will make their product cost effective, and they will start charging lower prices. Can you stop this? No sir, we can't, we don't have any option. How can we stop this? But yes, it can be done. Second, so other firms may lower their prices as well, cost as well. This is fine. As technology improves, the competitors may eliminate the competitive advantage by increasing their production capability. Yes, the same thing related to this. So other competitors are also developing the same type of capability that you thought that I have that kind of capability, but others are also having. So now you won't be able to stop them. Third, buyer interest. Buyer becomes more, powerful, more, income savvy, they have more saving. They are no more interested in Lux or Hammam. They are no more interested in cost effective product, low cost, low price product. They are no more interested in sedan car. They are looking for luxury cars. SUV chodo yaar, we are going to buy, Mercedes or BMW or Porsche, something like that. So their interest might change. So demographic, customer, especially the customer, the taste and preference of the customer changes. You can't do anything. So these are the basic risks always involved in this. I think you will have to agree. Differentiation, you produce something very unique. You produced, on the basis of technology, you developed a product based on machine learning. Internet of Things. These are the new technologies that are being used to develop a product. Say you developed, house automation system, and a new competitor came and they imitated your technology, and at the same cost or a lower cost, then your differentiation is of no use because you have a strong rival. It can be imitated. So imitation or copying by the competitors can always be a risk in case of differentiation. But however, another point, customer taste and preference might change. So from differentiation based product, they might look for, customized product. I am using, luxury cars. I am using, Ferrari. I am using BMW. I am using Mercedes. I am using Porsche. I am using, Range Rover. But now I want a customized Ferrari sports car. I am Virat Kohli. Can you stop him? My choice, my life, my terms, my income, my way of spending products and services, right? So luxurious product, unique product, differentiated product, they might change to focus differentiation. Their taste and preference might change. So one thing that you have to understand, this point and this point is common in both. And imitation can be common in both. Imitation, cost leadership style can also be copied. So these are two common points in cost leadership and differentiation. Don't get confused, my dear friends. Third point, various firms pursuing focus strategy may be able to. Tomorrow, what can happen? Customer can change from differentiated product to focus differentiated product. Whereas I was producing a luxurious car or customizing a luxurious car, today I am coming to same market, full-fledged. I am offering it to the masses. Tesla coming for masses. Who can stop? Yesterday they started making Falcon rockets for NASA and ISRO. Tomorrow they might come and offer it to the masses. Om Trivedi, you want to buy Falcon rockets? Technology has developed. Do you want to develop space tourism? Do you want to open a company of space tourism? Yes, I am also ready. So lo, तुम्हारे लिए भी है. You can also have this facility. So that focused product for specific people now can go to the masses. So tomorrow a focuser can become a differentiator. So that is another risk. Another risk. And focus ka risk. Of course, वही same चीज. So sir, imitation by the competitor, change of taste and preference of the customer, and other focusers may be able to carve out a sub-segment that can serve even better. So there can be other rival who can do better than you. You are also preparing customized product. I am also offering, say we customize, we create a regular batch, then we make fast track, then we make practice batch, then we make booster crash course. So what is this? This is customized product. Another person who can come with a better option, better fusion, they can focus more. So that can be one strategy. There can be risk. So there are points which are 2-3 points are common in each. These risks are common in each. So these are the fundamental risks of each and every strategy. But my question is, what are the advantages and disadvantages of different strategies? That is very important. That is very important. How to achieve is simple. How to achieve is very simple. For that we have, again we will repeat it. Say you have to achieve, in the question it was being asked, in the ABC Limited wala question, it was a question, there were points that how to achieve this particular strategy, and you had to write the pointers like this, because ICAI has given these pointers. First of all, how to achieve cost leadership strategy, how to achieve cost leadership strategic position, how to achieve competitive advantage by using cost leadership strategy. This is the question. Now answer me without seeing this. Use common sense, though it is not common, but you can use it. Use common sense to answer my question. First you answer, then I will go to these pointers. Just answer me. Very simple. Prompt forecasting of demand of product and services. Say I know how many products and services will be demanded by the customers in the market. I have done a survey, I have done a research, I have done a good market research, and I know that my courses will be sold in 5,000 units. Right? Now I know. What will I do? Basis that I can plan my production, I can utilize my resources in such a manner that will be cost effective. And further, I can increase my economies of scale. So achieving economies of scale. These 3 points we have already discussed. So we are just repeating the pointers. Just you have to remember it. First, forecast the demand. Second, optimum utilization of resources. Third, achieve economies of scale. All these 3 will reduce your cost. Fine. Fourth, standardized product for mass production means you need to develop a set of technology, set of resource, set of design, set of product, standardized product, so that production teams should not get confused. They can just put in place produce and produce. Now they know what kind of mic this is. So there the whole formula, the whole technology, the whole type of raw material, everything is being standardized. So now just your job is to produce 5 crore units of this. So standardization is very important. Invest in cost saving technologies. If you can develop, you can innovate some technologies. Remember in case of Harrier I discussed, say they developed a technology which can save their 1 lakh of cost, or they can automate their plant to save the cost. They can automate their warehouse to save the cost. You can automate any of the activities, or you can implement ERP within your organization to save the cost. So there are different ways to save the cost. So this is one thing. Resistance to differentiate till it becomes essential. The organization is not looking for differentiation strategy. This is their choice. This is their choice. You cannot bound them. This is their choice. So there are 4-5 important aspects that we have seen. How to achieve cost leadership strategy. First, demand forecasting. Second, optimum utilization of resources. Third, economies of scale. Fourth, develop cost saving technologies for your support. Fifth, standardization of product and services. And sixth, Very generic point, resistance to differentiate. We don't want to differentiate. That's a simple point. There is nothing to remember, just to understand. If you understand this, you will write yourself. Yes. Now coming to the unique product, where we say that these are differentiated product and unique product. Premium product produced higher cost and sold at higher price. How to achieve this position? The first requirement to achieve this position, of course, is scientific invention, innovation, R&D, better product design, unique product design, unique resources, and in the use of unique skills, branding, advertisement, marketing. These are the requirements to achieve this. Without seeing the points I am just mentioning over here, because we have already discussed this, and with the examples also we can analyze and think about this, and you will find that sir is saying that something that is true. You are also thinking the same thing. The same thing is going in your mind also when we are going to achieve differentiation. Very simple. Let's see as per ICAI, and we will remember it also, memorize it also. Improve product performance, very important, means create more and more value, means create perceived value. Ultimately, indirectly, it is trying to establish that you have to improve the product perception, performance, because so that you can create perceived value, number one. Number two, fixing optimum product prices based on uniqueness, means if you are defining premium price, then you have to define how much premium price is called. Say 1,50,000 for an iPhone, latest version of iPhone, 2 crores for any latest version or luxury car of BMW or Mercedes, something like that. So you have to optimize that. Offer utility to the customer and match product with their taste and preferences. Because you have promised sky, you have to deliver sky. You told me that if you buy a BMW car of 2 crore rupee of this 4 series, E4 or some series, and if you met with an accident, Bhagwan na kare kisi ka accident ho, I would wish that nobody goes for an accident, but the car offers, the company offers, the automobile company offers, if you met with an accident, it is guaranteed that the driver will be safe. And if at all he dies, will not take back the car, will give the equal amount as insurance for that particular car. This is something that, that shows the determination of BMW for the safety of their car. The safety, they are guaranteeing safety in terms of your life, in terms of insurance, in terms of value creation, in terms of everything. That is called performance. Something that was promised has been delivered. Values, basic definition is, basic criteria is, it is not that you are promising me sky. Don't promise me sky, deliver me the sky. Means if you are promising me something, deliver me and get my feedback whether I am satisfied or not. If not, it will be told that you have not delivered that you promised. This is called as offer utility to the customer and match product with their taste and preferences. If you can match it with what you have promised or what they require, that is called real perceived value delivery. Second, offer the high quality product and services for the buyer satisfaction, simple point. Rapid production, innovation and enhancing brand image. Without these true elements, these are very basic thing. This is something that is the demand and you are putting in place and you are delivering that demand. That is very simple, related to customer. But the two major aspects that any examination would like to see is rapid innovation, means R&D, and the brand image. Because if behind every perceived value product, behind every differentiation strategy, there is a strong brand. Unless and until you have a brand or a differentiation makes you a brand. Both things can be possible. Both are possible. I'm not denying the fact. Both can be possible. Yes. And the third point is focus. Very simple. How to achieve this? You have to find a specific niche. Niche means a few people in the whole segment, a particular class of people in the whole pyramid. Either it is top level people or it is bottom of the pyramid, both. Which are not covered by the cost leader and differentiators, means which are narrow segment, which is not offered by the wide segment. Creating superior skills for creating such niche market. You need a superior skill. Generating the high efficiencies for serving such niche market. You have to serve this particular segment. You have to serve that particular school where you promise to deliver 5 lakh units of notebooks. Developing innovative ways in managing the value chain. Very simple. These are generic points. So this is how you achieve focus. Now, very simple. Advantage of each base of generic strategy. If you have to be here, one thing that I want to mention here is to learn differentiation, because this is very, very hot for this attempt. Very, very hot. How to achieve each strategy, especially differentiation, is very, very hot. To remember all the 6 points, you need to have this, memory code. Put quality in brand. Put quality in brand. First of all, how this matter? P for product performance. U for uniqueness. Develop uniqueness. T for taste and preference. Match the taste and preference. And quality means offer the high quality product and services to the customer, to the buyer satisfaction. In for innovation, and brand for brand image is very important. You have to remember this with memory code. This is fine. I think this is fine with you. Now, advantages of each basis of generic strategy. Here I want to I want to tell you to recall something out of the first chapter. When we were discussing, now listen to me very carefully. When we were discussing Michael Porter's 5 forces model, either it was bargaining power of the buyer or the supplier, threat from the new entrant, threat from the direct or indirect competitor. Everywhere we discussed a topic called product differentiation. Did we discuss this? Yes or no? Means either the product is differentiated or not differentiated. If it was differentiated, means we were talking about differentiation. If it was not differentiated, because every coin has 2 sides, there we were discussing. If it is not differentiation, then the bargaining power will not work, right? So, means it was cost leadership. There was a cost leadership strategy. So here, advantage has been discussed in terms of either it is cost leadership or differentiation. In terms of, listen to me very carefully, all the 5 forces. Just you have to remember one thing is 5 forces. Think differentiation, think one of the force. Think differentiation, again I am repeating. Think differentiation and think any one of the 5 forces and write the write-up in favor of that particular strategy. You will get the answer. So here you don't have to mug up anything. Here ICAI Michael Porter has done what? Merge generic strategy with 5 forces strategy. Keeping the 5 forces strategy, 5 forces of the industry in mind, Michael Porter is defining advantage of product differentiation or non-differentiation or cost leadership for the firm. Very simple. Very simple. For example, I am starting from differentiation only. You will understand what I am trying to say. Advantage. First point is rivalry. Now you think, if you offer differentiated product, will there be tough competition for you? Tell me, yes or no? Yes or no? Don't say it. Just answer my question. You are producing iPhone. You are producing you are Intel, you are producing microprocessors, i7, i9. Are there many rivals? Is this increase the intensity of competition within the industry, or it will control the competition? You have a huge brand, and basis that you are differentiating your product and you are going to fight in the market. It is in your favor now. This is the advantage. So in rivalry is just a point. In rivalry, product differentiation is going to be a competitive advantage for the firm. See, brand loyalty acts as safeguard against competitors. So if you have differentiation strategy, you are using differentiated products, you are going for a better brand, it is also differentiation. You are offering uniqueness, you are offering perceived value to the customer. Of course, you will have to face less intensity of competition, direct competition. Next, you will have less threat from the direct competitor rivals. Point number 1. Point number 2, buyers. If you are offering just listen to me, just apply the logic, common sense. If you are offering differentiated product, will the buyer bargain? Will the buyer be in a position to negotiate with you? You will say no, not possible. So they do not negotiate for price because you are offering differentiated product. This is a benefit. Suppliers, because differentiator charge a premium price, so you will be easily paying to the suppliers. You will not give a chance to the supplier to bargain. Boss, yes, Apple is offering its iPhone or Mac Air in collaboration with 125 plus companies. Means everybody is supplying something to Apple. They are accumulating it, they are assembling it and giving it to you with their own technology. Because they are offering differentiated product and charging a premium price on the basis of scheming pricing philosophy, they are in a position to pay off every supplier in time. So the bargaining will not work and they are ready to offer them good cost. They can afford to absorb high cost from the supplier. So suppliers bargaining will not work. Because I am charging high, I can afford high cost also. That's fine. So this is an advantage. Means intensity of competition is not working on people who are using differentiated product. Differentiation strategy, very simple. The whole idea is all the 5 forces, listen to me very carefully, all the 5 forces of the industry which are responsible for creating competitive advantage, intensity of competition within the industry, and they have a capacity to influence the pillar number 420 of a firm, are useless. लाचार है बेचारे, कुछ नहीं कर सकते, कुछ नहीं उखाड़ सकते. In simple Hindi I can tell you, कुछ नहीं, nothing, they can do nothing. So suppliers, again, they have a shield against the supplier, they have shield against the buyer. So a firm using differentiation strategy has this much advantage. We are analyzing it, keeping on our 5 forces. Entrants, new entrants. Oh, entrants can't innovate that fast. So we have a shield against innovators, new entrants also. Innovative feature create barrier to market. Substitute, okay, for differentiated product, it is hard to find substitute products. Very easy. So all the 5 forces are neutralized by using differentiation strategy. Are you convinced how easy this was? Here you are doing nothing. You are applying the logic of Michael Porter 5 forces model and you are concluding it. That's it. Now, come to this part. Cost leadership. Now rivalry. Think. You are a company which produces products at low cost. Rivals won't be able to match up with your cost. This is going to add an advantage. So in rivalry, you have an edge. You can battle lower prices because you are producing at lower cost. Remember the example of Harrier and Grand Vitara Brezza. That was the case. Competitors are likely to avoid a price war. कौन लड़े इससे? Who wants to fight with this person who is producing at low cost? They have already an advantage of cost. They will fight on price as well. So there will be no price war. Number 1. Number 2, buyers. So buyer will get a low price product because you are producing it at a low cost. You are offering at low price. So buyers balle balle. Buyer is ready to buy. They have laddus in both the hands. So powerful buyer or customer would not be able to exploit the cost leadership form. Very simple. Suppliers. Cost leaders are able to absorb greater price increase from the supplier because they are already producing at low cost. If you increase the cost of supplies a little bit, they will not be hampered that much because they have got innovative technologies basis which they know how to reduce the price, the cost of a product. Entrant, low cost leader create barrier to the market. Simple. Substitute. Low cost leaders are more likely to lower the cost to induce existing customers. Lower the cost, lower the price. So low cost producer has always the option to fight the substitutes. So these are the points you have to define. Just remember one thing you have to mention either in cost leadership or in differentiation. Just write the 5 forces and define your logic in favor of cost leadership, in favor of differentiation strategy by using those 5 forces. I think this is fine. Now, Two disadvantages, P ratio, two disadvantages of focus strategy. Advantages of focus strategy. One, premium price. A focuser can charge a premium price, and there is an entry barrier because very few of them are doing this. There is an entry barrier. P for premium price, E for entry barrier. Your memory code will be P ratio. So focus. These are the advantages of generic strategy. I think this is fine. You have no issues, and this is a very, very hot topic. This is a very, very hot topic for this attempt. Again, advantage and disadvantage also. Disadvantage is nothing but the same thing. Almost the same thing, the risk topic that we discussed. But yes, if the disadvantage comes right as per the ICAI module, and here we have disadvantages of cost leadership. Very simple. Sir, for this you have to remember the points first. 4S. 4S. What is 4S? S for sustainability. S for sustainability. Another S for sales volume. Another S for short term advantage and superior technology. दिल बहलाने को ख्याल अच्छा है गालिब. Means we want to say that cost leadership has 4S disadvantage. Will it be in your mind? 4S disadvantage. Sustainability. Point is very simple. How long? You are producing at low cost. How long will you be able to afford this low cost production? Is it possible for all the times that you will be producing at low cost? Someday you will have to differentiate, boss. Right? Sustainability. Cost advantage may not long as competitors may imitate cost reduction technique. And there will be burden also on you after a long term. Second, sales volume. Cost leadership can succeed only if the firm can achieve higher sales volume. Means if you have economies of scale. If you are able to generate that, then only you will be able to survive, or else you won't be able to survive. So point number 2 is very serious. Third, short term advantage. In short term you can take an advantage of cost leadership, low cost product, but tomorrow when the customer would look for premium services, differentiated products, what will you do? So it can be a short term game, not a long term game. Listen to me very carefully. Cost leadership tend to keep their cost low by minimizing the cost of advertising, market research and development. But this approach can prove to be expensive in long run, because tomorrow you will have to spend on advertisement, branding, marketing, etc., market research, on all. So that way, for long term purpose, for sustainability, we will say that cost leadership has an advantage. Many people sustain for long, I'm not saying, but this can be a disadvantage. I'm counting disadvantage. And second is superior technology. If your competitor gets the superior technology, then they will snatch your cost leadership advantage. So that is something very important. Technology advancement areas a great threat to cost leadership. Example is very simple. Earlier the internet was very costly. Do you remember? Internet era, when you were going to cyber cafes, paying for 50 or 20 per hour. Today for 400-500 you get unlimited internet sitting at your home. That is also personalized service. Telecom services, how costly they were when they were launched. I remember in 90s or around 2000, in 90s it was being charged at I think 38 rupees for 1 minute outgoing call. It was so costly, so costly. Today कोई पूछता नहीं है. So 4S formula for disadvantages for cost leadership. S for sustainability. Just recite me once again. Another S for sales volume. Another S for short term advantage. Another S for superior technology. Fine? This is fine. Second disadvantage. 3S formula now for differentiation. What is 3S? Sustainability, differentiation, again switching, second, and substandard. 3 very important points. 3 disadvantages can take away all the advantages taken by differentiation. What are those? Listen to me. Sustainability. In the long term, uniqueness is difficult to sustain. How long will you innovate? Is it possible for you to innovate all the times? Are you capable of doing this thing again and again and for a longer period of time? Yes or no? If yes, then you are fine. If no, then there is a problem. Switching. Charging too high a price for differentiated feature may cause the customer to switch to another product or another alternative. High price has a switching fear. Switching cost will be low for the customer because the price of the product is already very high. So they will switch to another low cost, low price product. Substandard. Differentiation fails to work if the basis of something that is not valued to the customer by the customer. You offered a product, you told me, sir, this is a premium class, we are charging 20,000 rupee for FMSM classes. When I started watching your classes, 20,000 for FMSM classes. No, we offer at only 7,000 something like that. We don't charge that premium, though we provide premium classes as you observe it. But when we started watching classes, first 2, 3, 4 lectures were so bumper. Okay, so funny, yeah, whoa. There were so much of, discussion, debate, and students coming on the board and telling me several things. And after 5th lecture, you started, napping. We didn't understand. Up from 5th to end, we were just doing time pass. Yaar, ye lecture khatam kyun nahi hota? The sooner it ends, the sooner I will get, out of this hangover. So initially 4 or 5 lectures were very, bright, very, glamorous, very attractive. But after that, another 100 lectures were like, a very painful exercise. Is that any more premium? No. You expressed in such a manner, you advertised for it as a premium product where it was not at all a premium product. So that is another serious disadvantage. And the last but not the least, focus. So there are 3 C's as disadvantage for focus strategy. First is competencies. The firm lacking in distinctive competencies may not be able to pursue focus strategy. Very simple. Second is cost. Due to the limited demand of product or service, costs are high, which can cause problems. So if a focuser has a high cost of any product, that will be a problem. And competition, of course. Competition is always a threat for anybody. So this is another advantage. So 3 C's, competencies, cost, and competition. Today I am giving you a homework. Before we end the session, I am giving a homework. You have to write answer, question of the day. Today's question of the day. Question number 8 of A.45 of Mentor. This is question of the day. Question of the day. This is the question of the day, and you will find an immediate strategy. Michael Porter best cost provider strategy. Don't get confused. This is no strategy. This is basically Michael Porter's generic strategy. So if somebody tells you that there is another strategy, sir ne padhaya nahi, sir has not discussed this in the class, say no. Later on, after 5-6 years, Michael Porter consolidated, listen to me very carefully. Michael Porter consolidated its generic strategy in the form of best cost provider strategy, written at some places in Michael Porter's literature. That's why it is called as best cost provider strategy. This is the same strategy, same explanation, same model, nothing new. This is Michael Porter's generic strategy. It's duplicate. Same strategy, also known as best cost provider strategy. So there is no different topic in your exam, in your syllabus. That is cost leadership, differentiation, focus strategy, low cost, focus strategy, differentiation. In the earlier model, it was focus in the mid. You had to understand this. Later on, Michael Porter elaborated it, and that's it. So this is Michael Porter's best cost provider strategy. Whichever strategy comes, the explanation is same. Right? Done. So you will see question number 35 in your mentor book. Just for discussion purpose, I am mentioning here. Right? And we will discuss further more questions from this topic after the break. Let's have a break, and then we'll get back to discuss few questions of Michael Porter and remaining topics of chapter number 3. Most of the chapter number 3's part, the important part or the vibrant part or the unique part that we actually had a focus in this particular chapter has been covered first. That's why I discussed core competency and generic strategy first, and now small topics are there in this chapter. We'll discuss and cover and complete. Apart from portfolio analysis technique, rest are very simple basic topics. We'll discuss after the break. See you after the break. All the best. Okay boss, welcome back. This was the point where we ended the previous session. Before the break we were working on Michael Porter's 5 generic strategy. Of course we discussed several aspects of 5 forces model also into the generic strategy part. After that we discussed Michael Porter's best cost provider strategy, which I emphasized that this is nothing but the generic strategy itself, just improvised by Michael Porter later on, say 5-10 years down the lane, and that is being called in the industry popularly as Michael Porter's best cost provider strategy. And now before I move to the question discussion will be done later. I will do all the I will make a comprehensive revision for all the question and discussion for all the questions related to all the topics discussed in this particular chapter. Before that, I am going to start a new topic and you have to focus on this, and this is very hot as far as your examination is concerned. So you can mark in your copy or your notebook or your textbook that this is a very hot concept as far as your current examination or the coming examination is concerned. So mark it, will discuss it. The topic is strategic drivers. Strategic drivers, not our personal driver. This is our strategic driver. And when we are talking about strategic drivers, it has 2 aspects. What is this, how it is asked in the examination, how we'll discuss, what will the examples that will be, and what is the real concept we'll discuss later on. First of all, to start with, I want to give you 2 things in your mind. Strategic drivers may be for any business. You can say name any 5 strategic drivers for a firm. For the firms there is a strategic driver. Strategic driver can be for the industry also. Strategic driver can be for the industry also. So firms drivers might influence the industry because industry is an environment, there is an industry environment, and industry drivers might impact firms environment. This is something I am just putting in your mind. We'll discuss later on, because sentences and the structure will come like this that you will get confused at that point of time. So that time I will remind, here we are talking about industry and here we are talking about a firm. Let's start with few examples before going to the text. We'll discuss the text later on, and this is how we proceed, and this is what my idea is. We discuss things and then we go to the textbook or study material that looks very easy and very interesting in scoring as well. So guys, here it is. What do I mean by strategic driver? Let's start with a fresh page. I will write something and then we'll discuss. Strategic drivers. First of all, I am talking about firms, businesses, because businesses make up the industry. Many businesses become part of the industry. They actually create industry. So this is a firm, say this is a Walmart. Because we have been studying Walmart, and one more important thing in strategic management, why we discuss only successful organizations. Have you ever thought about this? Why sir always discusses about those organizations which are really very successful across the globe? Why do I discuss those organizations? The reason is very simple, because strategic management talks about competitive advantage and sustainable competitive advantage. Its ultimate goal is winning the race, and the winners give you the best example. So in my opinion, in my point of view, in my thought process, Walmart like company is something that has actually utilized strategic management like anything. So they could be my role model, they can be my best example, and if we follow companies like Walmart, we would really be at ease to understand each and every concept of strategic management, because this is a big company, number one retailer. So number one will give you the real feeling of how strategy and strategic management works within the industry, because each and every model is being tested over here and experimented here, and they have tested the success also. So the success and the competitive advantage they have already tested in many forms, so they could be the best examples. Walmart. Now I am just asking you, I have a question for you. Tell me, what are the factors that make, what are the rules that actually make this particular company a successful company? Can you tell me? Just give me, what are the factors that make this company very successful? What are the things that it looks for? If it can work according to that particular factor, it will become successful. What are the key determinants of Walmart's success? Can you tell me? What are the key ideas? What are the key components that make Walmart successful? If Walmart wants to become a successful company, or it at all wants to get to become a successful company or gain competitive advantage, the first thing that it needs to focus is on the industry to which it belongs. Do you agree with me? Industry. First of all, it needs to understand the industry to which it belongs, and that's why I told you that strategic drivers are related to both of the aspects, either it is industry or the firm. Now it's time to discuss the strategic drivers of the industry. So guys, please listen to me. Say Walmart belongs to retail industry, no issues. Retail industry. So if Walmart is investing in retail and wants to be number one in retail, just listen the story. Strategic management is all about story and storytelling. If you understand the stories and the corporate stories and the stories of the organizations, especially successful organizations, you actually understand strategic management. Otherwise, you will face problems in strategic management. Though it looks very easy, it is not that easy, my dear friends. This is a top level management. Okay, guys. So Walmart is a part of retail industry, and it is number one, or it wants to be number one. It will have to follow, it will have to have a better understanding of the industry. Means, first of all, that Walmart needs to do is industry analysis. Industry analysis. If Walmart does industry analysis, it will be able to understand what are the opportunities and threats in this particular industry. While doing so, Walmart also needs to understand the events and trends arising within the industry. So either do industry analysis or do industry scanning. Yes or no? My dear friends, yes or no? If you can do this, the primary thing that you need to do, say I am into education industry. Just think about Om Trivedi, OTC virtuals. We are into education industry, especially in CA, CS, CMA coaching industry. If we want to determine our strategic drivers, that what are the things that will drive my success or my performance or my competitive advantage, or things that will take me to my competitive advantage, first of all, I will have to understand, I will have to analyze, I will have to think about or find data about the industry that I belong to, their characteristics, the happenings, the events, the trends, the issues, and the expectations arising within that industry. If we can understand, then only strategic drivers will be there in favor of us, and that will make us successful. Very simple. So first thing is industry to which the firm belongs to, and every industry has strategic drivers. Now name few industries strategic drivers, something that makes industry successful. I'm not talking about companies, I am talking about retail industry, I am talking about IT industry, steel industry, mining industry, petroleum, petrochemical industry, chemical industry, any industry. Industry's success depends upon several factors which, when introduced, bring huge changes within that industry. Things or factors that actually bring in lots of change within that industry, those are the factors So drivers, what are the drivers? If we have to define drivers in one sentence, I'm going to drivers because we are talking a lot more about drivers. What do you mean by drivers? Drivers. A smart note on this. Drivers. Drivers means factors of firm or industry that bring huge changes when they are introduced. Don't you think that a new company comes into the market and brings huge changes, new entrant? Entry barrier, exit barrier, do you think that it will become a key determinant or driver within any particular industry? So you can take several examples, put in some examples, then we go to say entry barrier. In some industry it is there. Exit barrier, we have already discussed this. Entry or exit barriers. These are the key strategic driver of a particular industry. These are those factors which are when introduced bring huge changes within that industry. So similarly, there would be the factors which change and they bring lots of changes within any firm. So that will be a strategic driver for a company or a firm or a business. And here we are talking about strategic drivers of the industry. Say IT, information technology, or introduction of e-commerce. Just imagine when there was no e-commerce and now there is e-commerce. Does industry change due to these particular factor? When we were working manually and now today we are working in an automated environment. So I will say BPA. BPA, what is the full form of? BPA, introduction of AI tools. AI tools, artificial intelligence tool. BPA means business process automation. What is this business process automation? Say we are automating the whole accounting process through ERP or Tally, Busy, Zoho.com, QuickBooks.com and something like that. So we are using cloud services to automate our services, our business, to automate our business. We are using grid computing, cloud computing, mobile computing, etc. These are the huge changes after 90s when the internet evolution come. Introduction of internet. How can you forget this? Don't you think that internet brought huge changes within any particular industry? So there are several factors. Easy availability of money. Easy. Tax rate. Wow. Interest rate. RBI changes these things. Government of Ministry of Finance changes these things. Announces something related to this. Won't you think that industries will be changed due to these factors? These are strategic drivers within any industry. So I think you understood. And then further I was talking about tax rate, interest rate, easy availability of money. Like Japan. Of money. Easy availability of money. So these are the factors. I think you are quite satisfied. When I am talking about Walmart, the first thing for Walmart is to understand the industry. And to understand the industry, we need to understand the strategic drivers of that particular industry, because we have to follow those. We have to keep an eye of these things happening within an industry, because this is actually going to drive my company, because I am a part of that particular retail or education or semiconductor or IT or any industry. So this is first thing, industry. Further, second point that would come to my mind as far as the strategic drivers is concerned is, don't you think that the market and the marketing patterns, techniques, everything going to be a strategic driver? Market is growing, growth rate is slow, growth rate is high, growth rate is fast, growth rate is medium, right? Economic factors in the market or the industry are changing, isn't it? There are several demographic changes happening in the industry, in the market. So these things, market. There is a new market, there is an existing market, there is a multinational market, international market. So market is also a strategic driver. This will actually influence the growth of any organization. This will influence the capability of any organization to build competencies or core competencies, and finally to gain competitive advantage. Don't you think? This is how we'll build the language of our study mat. So because we know which are the key terms that is involved over here with the marketing. You learn to, the way I am speaking, you learn to write things in the same manner. I'm doing nothing, I'm simply speaking out your study mat in the format of, on the basis of my understanding. So whatever we do, we understand the concept and the way we practice it in the industry, that is being written in the books, and that becomes your study mat. This is the basic thing that we have to understand. Third factor, I think, after industry and market, most important driver that drives any organization, now name anything, god of business, that is customer. How can you forget this? And when I am talking about customer, actually I am talking about internal and external customers, and especially their behavior. Consumer behavior, consumer taste and preference, consumers' income, saving pattern, their investment pattern, their expenditure pattern, everything. Disposable income, how much disposable income actually they have. So this is another, my strategic driver. This can be another strategic driver. There can be technology also, there can be strength. Many strengths can be strategic driver, but these are the important ones. Customer. After customer, I think there could be another strategic driver that I think once I have customer, I know the market, I know the industry, there must be product and services that we are having. Because that is also, if we are able to create valuable products and services, then that is going to be our strategic driver. And if we are not able to create, that will become our non-strategic driver. So products and services, very important. This is what we are discussing on the basis of our understanding, not going to the book, not going to the study mat. We are simply thinking about Walmart and the drivers that actually driving a strategic Walmart. So customer, product, services, market, industry, these are the drivers. And once you have customer and the product, you need to deliver it to the customer. How will you deliver it? Do you have a distribution channel? Do you have a product channel? Do you have a service channel? Whether you have or you have not. Yes, sir, we have. Do you have an online channel to distribute your product and services? Do you have an after sales service support channel? Yes or no? Do you have a feedback channel? Yes or no? So there is a distribution channel, popularly called as channel. So these are the brief ideas through which, these are the drivers which actually determine the success of any organization. These are the key factors that actually influence the performance of any organization, and they influence you in getting competitive advantage. So these are the strategic drivers. We are going to read it in detail in the study mat. Remember these 5 things, and these are the keys. Industry has its own drivers. Just for your knowledge, I shared with you. Second thing, market, customer, product and services, and finally the channel. Very important topic, might be there in your examination question paper. In this attempt, you have to focus on this. So you can take a note. Please pause it and take a note. Then come to this particular point. Pause it and take a note just for your understanding. These notes are going to help you a lot, because here we have discussed things as per the requirement. Pause and note, and now I am moving to the study mat. Now let's move with the study mat. This is very important part. Strategic drivers are those and their performances, how customer performances in favor of us, how industry is performing, how market is performing, which differentiate the organization from its competitors. Competitor differentiation means competitive advantage. Means tell me now, indirectly institute is telling you which provides you with the competitive advantage. All those changes which are in favor of you and which gives you competitive advantage is a strategic driver, and the factor and their performance. These 2 terms, and competitive advantage, third term, and provide competitive advantage. This is repetition in this particular sentence. This was not required directly, or institute could have written. Drivers are those factors and performance which provide competitive advantage to a firm. That's it. That's it. Simple definition. Very, very hot. This could be MCQ also. So MP sir, you can take a note. This sentence can be there in your examination, and there could be options. These are competitive advantages. These are strategic driver, industry driver, key success factor, strategic group mapping, group, anything. And you have to take one. That will be your strategic driver. Strategic drivers are the factors that drive an organization's strategy and performance. Fine. They can be internal or external. Yes, I told you internal. This can be internal, that can be external. Any factor. But they all contribute to an organization's success or failure. Yes. Where did I deny? Final. Key component of an organization's strategic drivers are industry and the market, customer, product and services, channel. Right? It involves analysis of the key markets in which the organization operates, as well as its key customer, the product, services it provides, the channel in which the product or service are delivered, and the organization's competitive advantage. Fine. This is repetition of what we have studied so far. Some of these components are interlinked, such as market and product. Who doesn't know? Channel, distribution channel, the market, a product and customer, each and every one is interlinked, and finally everything is part of that particular industry, so that is also interlinked. So no need to tell it, but yes, we have to make sentences, we can create sentences. The analysis is done in 2 steps, means we have already reached to our analysis part. So this is what I told you, that we need to analyze all the key drivers, and we have to find out. Identify the most common driving forces causing the competition. So which are the forces that are actually causing the competition? Bargaining power of the customer can cause a competition. Rivalry, direct or indirect competition, or threat of the new entrant can cause competition. You know this from Michael Porter 5 forces model. Supplier can be an important ingredient to create intensity of competition within the industry, and the level of competition, as you already know, it can be fierce, it can be strong, it can be favorable, tenable and weak. There are 5 types of competition within any industry. The level of competition within any industry we have already discussed. So here nothing, we have to explain nothing but Michael Porter's 5 forces model. The answer is clearly there. Finding or analyzing their individual contribution to the competition. Sir, Michael Porter 5 forces sentences. This analysis means strategic drivers actually provide you with the information of how much the intensity of competition is there within the industry, and how does it impact my performance, my competitive advantage. That's it. Michael Porter's 5 forces model analysis, the 3-step analysis that we have already discussed, that identify the factors that are actually creating intensity of competition within the industry, then study and find out their impact, individual impact on, individual level of competition that they create, and finally finalize the level of the impact that they create over a firm's pillar number 420, means a firm's profitability, market share, market position. The same thing in a summarized format has been written over here, just for your memory, just for your writing. Just so I'm mentioning this so that you don't need to mug up all the times. Just use your common sense and write 2 sentences without memorizing it. This is very simple. This is understanding that ICAI has written here. Some of the common driving forces are decreasing cost, increasing globalization, marketing innovation, product innovation, entry and exit of the firm, internet, e-commerce. Few things that I mentioned over here. These can be strategic drivers. These are those important components which are, when introduced, they bring huge changes within the industry. Say, if there is a surprising and sudden merger and acquisition within the industry, if Geo Retail acquires Future Retail, it is going to change India's retail market like anything. Don't you think it is going to change? It brings huge changes within the industry. That's simple. Sir, now one by one we'll discuss industry and the market. I don't think there is anything to discuss and study. Yes, there is a topic called strategic group mapping. Very important topic under this, analyzing industry and markets. We have to study one thing called as strategic group mapping. Now I'm going to this particular topic. I will discuss this and I will conclude this. What do you mean by strategic group? First of all, strategic group, right? Strategic group, very important topic. We might take a practical example also. Or if you think we can take, if it is not required, we won't take. But just I'm giving you 30 seconds to pause my video and think about what do we mean by strategic group. Just try to find out what is the real meaning of strategic group. Take 30 seconds and then I will answer this question. So I am sure you are very much near to the answer, and the answer is just I am giving you a hint. The answer is quite connected with two topics. One, the analysis is done in 2 steps as far as the strategic driver is concerned. So start thinking from here. You are going to find out the competition that is there and the impact of competition. So if you have to find out the impact of competition, then you will have to determine the competitors as well within the industry. So who is your competitor? Can somebody tell me? The one who is in contest with you is a competitor, but the one who is fighting for market as well as resources with you is your competitor. But don't you think, do you imagine, do you know one more important thing? That when you talk about wrestling or when you go to Olympics, especially in wrestling category, you must have observed one thing, that there are wrestlers in categories. They are divided into several classes and categories. Have you noticed that? 50 kilogram category, 60 kilogram category, 55 kilogram category, 74 kg category, 70 plus category, 80 plus category. So wrestlers are also defined in competition like Olympics or any competition in several categories. Even you go to the school, you will find that 6 to 8 category, 8 to 12, 9 and 10th, 11th and 12th. If some debate competition is going on, then again school kids are being categorized, so that there should be a level playing field between each and every competitor. And as we also know that there are level of, there are key players like top players, there are middle level players, there are niche players, there are laggards in any industry. So if I have to compete and I am into 60 or 80 kg category, I will fight with a wrestler in 80 kg category, isn't it? For example, if I am a car manufacturer and I make economy cars in India, especially if I am making micro car, sedan car, mini cars, SUV, XUVs. So the category I am producing, the kind of product and services I am producing, the kind of pricing strategy I am following, I will compete with similar type of companies, because my competition is not with BMW. I am an economy car manufacturer. My competition is with, if I am Tata, my competition is with Toyota, with Maruti Suzuki, with Honda, with Volkswagen. In India, these companies, or Mahindra, we are going to compete with these type of companies. Why will you compete with these companies and not with BMW, Mercedes or Porsche? Why not? The reason is very simple, that in industry, in a particular industry, all the competitors are categorized into strategic groups. Those companies which are quite close to each other in terms of several pricing strategy, market share, in terms of product, services, technological innovation, distribution channel usage, or the market coverage, or the kind of distribution network they are using, they fall into similar strategic groups, similar categories, similar group. This is called a strategic group, because we compete with similar type of companies which are producing similar type of product and services like we are producing. This is what I am trying to establish. One more example. 2-3 more examples we'll discuss, and then we'll proceed further. Just give a look. Take a look of these news channels. Do you believe that DD News, Times Now, Aaj Tak, News India, these are similar type of national channels who are mostly working in Hindi, except Times Now? Don't you think? If you ask me, CNN, IBN, I will exclude this. IBN 7, I will exclude this, but these brands are quite similar in several aspects. They are competing with each other. Yes, India, NDTV India also. Times Now is in English and in Hindi both. So I can say the Hindi wala is with this Hindi national channels. So they fall into a similar strategic group because they have to determine the analysis, the competition. They have to understand the impact of competition. They will have to finalize the competitor. This is the key necessity of strategic driver concept, and that's why there is a concept called strategic group. Similarly, you can see these automobile companies fall into the same category. They are of similar strategic group. Further, I am giving you more example. Say this exercise I did in the live class. This exercise. Just take a note of this exercise. You must have seen there are 4 colors: red, green, blue, black and brown. And I have made circles around several brands. Like if you see Aaj Tak, NDTV, ABP are in red, G News are in red because they fall into the same category. All national Hindi channels, right? These are strategic group. They are competing with each other. Of course, I will say Aaj Tak is not competing with ETV because ETV is a brand which is customizing its product, like ETV Rajasthan, ETV Majha, ETV Maharashtra, ETV Gujarat. So they are local brands, local channels which are sharing local news. ETV Rajasthan, ETV MP, right? So they are local channels. ETV, ABP, Majha means Maharashtra's ABP channel. So they are of similar group. Further, if you talk about Colors, GTV, Star Plus, these are TV network only, but they are entertainment channels. They are not news channels. Although you see these channels on your TV, but they are not all. So they fall into the similar strategic group. Now coming to some religious channel, Astha. Where is Astha? Disha, Astha. These are your religious channel, bhakti channels. When we talk about Disney, Hangama, kids channels, Pogo, they are kids channel. So they fall into the same. So Pogo is not going to compete with Astha. Astha is not going to compete with G Entertainment. They are not going to compete with, because they don't, though they are also television channels. They are also into the same industry. They fall into the same industry, but they fall into different strategic groups. So when we study the industry and the markets, we need to determine which company is actually competing with which company. If we can finalize our close competitor, then only we will be able to create our competitive strategy in a better manner. Then only we will be able to determine our strategic drivers in a better fashion. But how do we determine? This is how we identify. But how do we identify? What is the basis on which we identify? That is something very important that you have to write in the examination, and examiner will have an eye on that. So guys, just start discussing here only, and just tell me on what basis. Just apply your brain. Don't go to the study mat. Just try to think, just try to imagine, just try to use your common sense and tell me on what basis did you right now told me that all these red circled brands are of similar competition. They fall into the similar group of competition. They are of similar strategic group. On what basis did we determine? On what basis did we finalized, or I told you, or you also realized this, that yes, sir is saying right, sir is correct in all the senses. Why did you believe me? Why did you believe me? Otherwise you could not have believed me. What are the reason why you believed that yes, Aaj Tak, NDTV, ABP and G News fall in the similar category? They are into 60 kg category of wrestling. Why? Why did you think about this? The reason is very simple. Now I'm listing something, just give an eye to that. Don't write. We'll go to the study mat, we'll finalize. This reason is very simple, my dear friends, that they have similar products. So on the basis of product and services, am I right? I decided that they fall into the same category. So they come into the same strategic group. I don't know what the process of finding a strategic group is called, but finally I have found my strategic group. Means competitors which fall into the same group, competitors which are the class of competitors which are close to each other while competing into an industry. That is strategic group. Simple, because we are going to compete with them. Their product and services are almost similar. Do you agree with this? Yes, sir. Further, their price will be same. They are catering to the same market. They are using almost similar technologies and innovations, right? They are almost close to each other in terms of their market share. Yes or no? They have similar, I can say distribution channel they are using. Distribution channel, similar distribution channels they are using. Yes or no? Not the same, but they are also providing services and after sales services of because they are competitors. So if my competitor is providing X type of after sales service, I am also going to provide that. They are using the same network. Their marketing strategy is almost similar because their customer is same. Customer segment they are targeting is same. So if I ask you the basis on which we have finalized the strategic group, what will you say? Sir, these are the pointers on which I will determine if on these parameters or pointers companies here fall into the same category, we will say they fall into the same strategic group. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Very simple. Sir, on the same thing, I will say product and services of ETV Rajasthan is quite similar to MP and ABP Majha. Yes, all green ones. Okay. Sir, their services are similar. They are regional channels providing services to, and their customer base is also same. So all Majha means all Maharashtra, Rajasthan means they are regional channels offering product and services to different regions. Okay. They are using similar distribution channels. So they are broadcasting through regional network. Their market share is almost similar because they are sharing market into regions, not at national level or international level. There is international channel also. So, and their pricing and market and the pricing and the marketing strategy will be quite similar because they are targeting regional audiences into regional languages, right? So on these parameters, I can determine that all these green companies, green circled organizations are, organizations fall into the same category. This is called a strategic group. And finally, I am telling you, on the basis of these parameters, the process of finalizing, the process of finding out strategic groups within any industry is called strategic group mapping, SGM. This is the concept that comes into examination, and this is very simple. This is quite based on our understanding. Now we'll go to the study mat and we'll conclude it. It is very simple, but it is very, very hot as far as the examination is concerned. It comes into the examination quite often. Market we already know, so I am not defining market, right? Industry and market definition, I think that would be childish. That would be the most childish thing if we discuss in the class. I think you will read that. Analyzing industry and market, yes, started from strategic group mapping. Let's do this. Industry and market analysis is extremely important to identify one's position as compared to the competitor. Yes, the whole idea is the center stage, competitor has taken the center stage in our whole strategic management study. Who can be equal size and value or bigger in size and value or even smaller and newer. So it can be of different category. We know this. It can be competition, can be fierce, it can be strong, it can be, it can be favorable, it can be tenable, it can be weak. We'll study ADL matrix. And this thing we have also seen in 5 forces model where it was written that competition can be very strong. It can be strong. Competitor can be, in a favorable position. It can be tenable or in a weak position. So competitive position can be different, but still this is it. A tool used for this is called strategic group mapping because we want to find out strategic group, similar the competitors and the close competitors, we are going to categorize them. So for that we need a process called strategic group mapping, but before that we have to define a strategic group, right? Now listen to in this technique the companies with underline companies with similar competitive approaches, and that will be defined on the basis of those pointers that I have discussed, and position in the market are placed into the same strategic group. So if somebody asks you to define or explain the strategic group, you will say organizations within an industry falling into the same class of competition based on their price structure, product, services, technology usage. I'm just verbally I'm telling you. We'll go to the study mat, we'll conclude on the basis of distribution channel used, technology used, market strategy used. They are called strategic groups, and the process of finalizing the strategic groups is called strategic group mapping. There can be many strategic groups, yes. As I shared with you here, there are many strategic groups in television industry. There are many. Broadcasting industry, there are many strategic groups. Because see, there are 4 or 5 groups that we finalized on this list only. So there can be many strategic groups within an industry, and this is very simple. In industry competition analysis, very simple. It can be an MCQ point. So MP sir, mark it MP sir. Finally, based on constructed strategic group, company can analyze its position, and this also helps to identify the area in which company can improve further, because you know your close competitors. Therefore, thereafter only you can do competitive landscape analysis and you can finalize your competitive strategy. Yes or no? Unless and until you gather competitive intelligence, how come you can deal with your competitor? Very simple. So this is the basis on which you are going to do strategic group, competition analysis. This is the basis. So strategic group mapping is very important. Now the topic is strategic group. A strategic group consists of those rival firms that have similar competitive approaches and position in the market. Very important. This is the key definition. This is something that you need to write, and this is something that is very easy, you know already. Organization in the same strategic group can resemble one another in several ways. How come they resemble with one another? On the basis of what they can say that we are, Judwa bhai, Judwa brothers, twins. They may have comparable product line breadth, so similar product and services. Price, quality, range, similar. Emphasize the same distribution channel. Just remember the list. Same product attributes to appeal to similar type of buyers, mean the customer segment they are offering products to. Depends on identical technological approaches, the history of innovation, technology usage, etc. Offer buyers similar services and technical assistance. So there are 6 pointers on a basis of which you are going to finalize your strategic group. Yes or no? More points will come. 2-3 more points will come later in this topic. We'll discuss. I have mentioned all the pointers at one place. That is final. You write on the basis of that. I'm going to find out a strategic group within any industry. That's simple. That's simple. Now I am talking about SGM, strategic group mapping. There will be a question in the examination. What do you mean by strategic group? And what is how do companies find a strategic group within any industry? So you will have to discuss about a strategic group mapping process. The procedure of constructing a strategic group is called strategic group mapping. Strategic group map and then decide which firm belongs to which strategic group involves the following step. How to find out? There are 4 steps, and those are very simple, that we have already done in this particular chart, in this particular diagram. You don't need to, take a graph paper for the examiner that give me the exam graph paper. I have to draw a strategic group. I have to do a strategic group mapping. No, please don't do that. Just you have to write it. ICAI will not ask you questions like that. Identify the different variables which separate companies from competition. These are the same variable that we discussed. Say price, quality, range, geographical coverage, degree of vertical integration, product line breadth, use of distribution channel, degree of service offered, etc. So few points take from here, few points are here. So there are approximately 6 plus 2 more points you can take. 1 vertical integration wala point you can add, and geographical coverage you can add. 8 points are there on basis of which we finalize the strategic groups within any industry, and that is very simple. Plot the form on a multivariable map. You don't have to put in this multivariable map. Simply you have to put, list them, circle them. Assign the form fall in the same category space by creating a strategic group. Draw a circle around each strategic group mapping size of circle respective to the industry scale. Don't worry, you don't have to take a graph paper and draw structure like this, draw something like this. This is a sample that we have already created and this is the way to do it practically, and we have done. You don't have to draw it, just you have to write these 4 sentences, right? Find out the parameters, then decide on which variable, draw a circle and then put it on a multivariate chart. Just you have to remember it, and this is the process called strategic group mapping. Your strategic group mapping is complete. There was a question in examination, though we'll discuss in detail, SBQ. This is the question of the day. You have to write it today. Write and send to me. Mr. Banerjee, head of marketing department of a manufacturing company. His company is in a direct competition with 13 companies at the national level. He wishes to study the market position of the rival companies by grouping them into like positions. This is an examination question. Name the tool. This is how the question will be asked. Of course, strategic group mapping. That may be used by Mr. Banerjee. Explain the procedure that may be used to implement the technique. So you have to define strategic group mapping, strategic group mapping process. Very simple, 3-step answer will be there. So you can do it. I think this is very easy. Now I am giving you a homework. Read about customer, please. I am not going to teach you customer explanation. This will be, time pass. Customer versus consumer. Oh my God. Right? Product and services. We don't know anything about product and services. Just you read page number 71. This is a reading task I am giving to you. Tomorrow we'll discuss about this. Then read this and we'll start from simply marketing strategy technique. This will be the place from where we will start tomorrow's class. So for today, this is it. We'll discuss tomorrow marketing strategy techniques, number 1. SWOT analysis, number 2, and number 3 topic that we will discuss tomorrow, that will be the final class, will be Mendelow's matrix. And tomorrow we'll conclude this with all question discussion. Now I think 2 hours class will be more than sufficient to conclude this chapter. This is a very good chapter. I think at least 10 plus marks question will be asked from this particular topic in this attempt. Get ready. All the best. See you. Bye-bye. Thank you.